Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the devastating fires that are ravaging Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. Our hearts go out to the families and communities affected by this tragedy, and we extend our deepest gratitude to the first responders, the firefighters, the law enforcement, and the volunteers that are fighting on the front lines, not only to protect lives, but also property as well. These fires are a stark reminder for us of the many challenges that we face as Californians, from natural disasters to the everyday struggle to keep our communities safe and secure. Today, as we discuss the critical stages of how to implement and enforce Proposition 36, public safety is at the heart of everything that we do. Whether it's guarding communities that are recovering from looters, or whether it's addressing retail theft, we all have the same goal: to protect and uplift all Californians. So let this moment serve as a reminder of the resiliency and unity that defines all of us, even in the face of adversity. So today we stand here together. The theme is collaboration. Together we stand here at Raley's, and the purpose for this Raley's is it's the highest, it faces some of the highest retail theft crime, this Raley's, out of all the other Raley's. And so I want to thank Raley's for allowing us to be here, and they're going to talk about their programs in relation to how they are combating retail theft. And I also want to recognize the Sac Metro Chamber and their collaboration with all the law enforcement partners, not only here in Sacramento, but in the entire region, whether it's San Joaquin, whether it's Yolo County or Placer County, and the business community as well. And it's a theme about collaboration. And with that theme of collaboration, I'm going to turn it over to the president and the executive director of the Sac Metro Chamber, Robert Height. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for being here. On behalf of the Sacramento Metro Chamber, we want to thank our elected officials, our law enforcement, our congressional partners, other chambers of commerce that are here today, and all of you, and of course Raley's for being the host. As Tim said, collaboration is key. The Metro Chamber believes our role is really helping to work in collaboration and in partnership in convening a regional conversation. The folks that commit these crimes know no boundaries, and so when we work together, we can achieve a lot. Many of you probably know that in the fall of last year, Sacramento was ranked number 7 in terms of retail crime in the nation, and we've been number 10 since 2018. And that is just unacceptable to creating a safe community for our families to thrive, for businesses to grow. And so with that, that's why we've been a staunch supporter since the very, very beginning. With that, we want to thank you for being here. There's a number of speakers, so I've kept it brief. Next up will be Chelsea Carbajal from Raley's.
Well, good morning. I want to just start by saying welcome and thank you all for being here. We are so grateful for the opportunity to host this important discussion around the implementation of Prop 36. I want to also just thank the Metro Chamber for organizing this, and Tin Ho for your vision in bringing all of us together. But more importantly, the amazing people behind me and in the audience, those regional representation of our district attorneys and law enforcement. Raley's knows this very well. We have locations in every jurisdiction that is represented here today. And what we also know is that those thieves do not think about being in Placer County versus Sacramento County. We had an arson case actually about a year ago where an individual caught fire to our charcoal aisle. They did this in Yolo County and 2 days later proceeded to doing it in Placer County. The level of importance of aggregation and that collaboration between those two district attorneys did create the level of consequences for the person who caught fire and put people's lives at risk. Raley's has been a very strong supporter of Prop 36, actually since the inception. We had very early conversations with Jeff Reisick and his leadership with the California district attorneys, not only about the legislation and the language, but really about how do we make sure that this is creating the right level of parameters. I'm going to start today just by showcasing a few of the type of theft cases that we see at Raley's every single day. It might be a little difficult, but if you could direct your attention towards the screen behind you, just a quick 90 seconds just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. And for media, we'll make this available for you. All Are we going? Looks like it's not. Oh, Lordy. We may go without it. All right, I'm going to keep moving. If he can get it, we'll get it to play. I apologize. It was working 60 seconds ago. But what this video showcased is really three things I want to kind of focus my time on today. One is the level of violence. We're talking about violence with our guards, contracted guards. We're talking about violence with our team members, but also with our customers. We're talking about blatant shoplifting. These are individuals who are filling bags with many of the same items or also doing large cart pushouts. But what you don't always see is the repeat offenders. These individuals are coming into our stores weekly, if not daily, stealing the same thing over and over again. But what you won't see is people who are stealing because they're hungry. Raley's spends and supports millions of dollars for those that are food insecure through our nonprofit Food for Families. What I want to highlight is the difference between grocery retail and other retailers like apparel. Under the former Law Prop 47, it was very difficult to get to $950 within a cart of groceries. If you look just behind us here in our liquor department, 3 aisles, this store alone lost $200,000 in liquor theft, specifically here, just in one location. That actually does not even match what the profitability of that department is. Our team members prior to Prop 36 had lost hope and had lost motivation. Because of that level of violence, we also saw in many situations a lack of law enforcement response. No fault of their own. It was either a lack of resources or in many situations, it was going to be a misdemeanor and the thief would be in one door and out the other. We've also seen that our customers have been discouraged. We're talking about individuals that are engaging in violence because they want to stop the thieves, or also in some situations where they're tying this together, that there's an increased cost of food and essential items while also seeing items walk out the front door. But Prop 36 has created an opportunity for action and accountability. With over 70% of the voters signaling their support, it's clear that Californians are united in addressing this in an innovative and creative solution to improve our public safety and our justice in the state of California. Raley's is committed to being an active partner in the successful implementation of Prop 36. We are eager to collaborate, not just today, but in the future with all of our partners behind us. Together, we can help reduce crime, support community well-being, and build a safer environment for everyone. We believe that partnerships just like this, that our public and private sectors that come together, can have a lasting impact. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our Sacramento County Sheriff, Jim Cooper. He has been a longtime supporter of theft and drug reform. We actually worked together, nearly 5 years ago on the first version of this initiative, also in his days in the legislature, and I'm just proud to call him a friend and a partner, Jim Cooper.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming out. I want to commend Raley's and Chelsea for stepping up and stating that. It's tough to say, hey, our business is being impacted. But just down the road, about 1.5 miles, there's a national corporation that makes clothing and other things. They are #1. It's a big chain, too. They are #1 in the country in retail theft. And yet they don't want to talk about it, do anything about it. And that's tough. And I commend Raley's for coming out and talking about this issue and really making the public aware of it. It is a big issue. This didn't start overnight. It's not going to change overnight. And what's interesting, during our operations, we've arrested over 1,000 people. Less than 20 were homeless. And the majority were not taking food. They're taking things just to take it. And that's the atmosphere that California has done in the legislature. And I'll say specifically the legislature did this and allowed it. And the reason we're here today is because it got so bad. That's why. And the citizens passed this, along with the businesses, made this happen. If it was up to the legislature, it would not have happened. And that's a shame in this. We still need help. We still need funding. Some departments got money from the organized retail theft grant. Others still need it. It is a problem. We're hearing that people are starting to take notice, the thieves, that there's some accountability now. So it's really changing. But it's going to take some time and effort to change. And what happened, law enforcement's hands were chained for far too long. And it's making a difference now. but it's a process. It is a slow process. So I'm excited about it. We're up here, we believe in it. It is a team effort, obviously, with the DA's office, law enforcement, and business. We want to do this. People see it every day. People want to feel safe. So like I said, it takes time, and I do believe it will change. But it's working together as a team and saying enough is enough. But it's so sad we got here on this. You know, people give out millions of dollars just to defeat Prop 36. Billionaires. That's insane. They don't shop at Raley's. They don't shop local. They have people that shop for them. This is about taking our lives back, taking our business back, our stores, and really making a difference. So I'm excited. It's a great thing. Tin Ho, thank you very much for doing this, putting it together. And next up, I want to introduce the police chief of the Sacramento Police Department, Kathy Lester.
Sheriff is absolutely right. Enough is enough. So thank you all for being here today. Retail theft has such a significant impact on our community. Hurts our local businesses, it affects their employees, and it limits the choices and safety of everyone in our region. That's why Prop 36 is such a significant and critical step in addressing the challenges that you've heard here today. Prop 36 is going to give us new tools to tackle theft, ensuring that those who repeatedly harm our community actually face some meaningful consequences. But implementing and enforcing the law is simply not enough. And it's not something that law enforcement can do alone, that the retail establishments can do alone, or our district attorney. We have to work together because it requires collaboration, innovation, and certainly a commitment from everyone, which is why you see us all standing before you here today. I know I am very proud to work alongside our outstanding partners, our fellow law enforcement agencies, our local businesses like Raley's, and our community partners like the Sacramento Metro Chamber of Commerce, led by Robert Hite, which is committed to helping elevate businesses to reach their full economic potential and create opportunities that benefit all of us in the region. So together, you see that we are a united front here to protect our community, hold criminals accountable, and certainly ensure justice for victims, which has been a long time coming. At the Sacramento Police Department, our patrol commands are working with our business partners, like Arden Fair Mall. Our officers are working with specific locations to address specific problems, and our detectives, our investigators, are serving as the bridge between enforcement, prosecution by our district attorney, and the Organized Retail Theft Coalition. It's these partnerships that have proven to be highly effective, and there will be more opportunities for success under Prop 36. I'm going to share an example of the benefits of working together like this, and I'm going to highlight a crime ring that involves one of our local retail establishments, Lululemon. Last November, Lululemon's organized retail crime investigator reached out to our burglary and our property crime unit about a series of thefts. They found that a theft ring had targeted their stores a staggering 19 times over 4 months and taken over $82,000 worth of merchandise. Through teamwork between Lululemon, our law enforcement partners, and with our DA, we were able to identify and arrest these thieves, effectively putting them out of business and an end to their crime spree. Prop 36 will also help us to do more to address those that are involved in hard drugs and cause harm to our community by increasing penalties for serious offenders. And it also emphasizes rehabilitation for non-violent drug offenders to break the cycle of addiction, reduce these repeat offenders, and improve public safety, because we have to stop this endless cycle of crime. But this is not just about stopping theft. It is about supporting local businesses and reinforcing a sense of safety for everyone who calls Sacramento and this region home. We know there's more work ahead, there certainly is, but with a team like the one that you see before you today, I am confident that we can make a difference here. I am now honored to introduce someone who has been a huge advocate of Prop 36 and certainly for business and for her community. Can I please introduce Elk Grove Mayor Bobby Singh Allen to you? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the proud mayor of the city of Elk Grove. I also have the distinction of wearing the hat of the president of the American Petroleum and Convenience Store Association. Our members have been on the front lines of retail theft for years. And I'm so proud that 70% of Californians made their voices loud and clear. Enough is enough. 70% of Californians demanded accountability. 70% of Californians demanded mass treatment. Every day, any one of us could put on the news and watch the impact that retail theft and crime and fentanyl and homelessness has caused in our communities across this great state. We have been on the front lines from day one, helping to qualify the ballot initiative, fighting back all of the legislative attempts to defeat it day after day, week after week, month after month. We helped to raise millions of dollars to make sure that our message got out to Californians. We took on the establishment, and Californians won. Small businesses won. A shout out to one of my board members from 7-Eleven who helped raise $2 million. $2 million because our stores, most all of them are owned by first-generation immigrants who came to this country and work hard every single day, losing thousands of dollars a month, one store a month. That is unacceptable. How many more families need to lose a loved one? The cost for this is too high. I have met so many families that have been lost to fentanyl. That is unacceptable. How many businesses need to close their doors or leave California? That is unacceptable. I am so proud that our state stood up and sent a very loud and clear message. Enough is enough. We demand accountability, responsibility, and action. We are here to work with all of our partners in all of our communities statewide, from the business community to elected officials and everyone else in faith-based groups. We're here to partner with everyone, including the governor, to ensure that the voters who stood up for Proposition 36, that we see this ballot initiative realized, that it is properly funded. Thank you all for joining us this morning. It is my honor to turn this over to another partner and a great district attorney from our neighboring county, Jeff Reisig.
Well, good morning. I want to start by thanking DA Tin Ho, Metro PAC, and Raley's for their leadership in bringing us together. And I'm proud to be joined today by some police chiefs from Yolo County, which is just across the river. The police chief from West Sacramento and Woodland are here. So as part of my involvement in this campaign from day one, I have been talking with police chiefs, sheriffs, and DAs around our state. And I come here today with some good news. It's only been 30 days, less than 30 days, since Prop 36 went into effect. And the message is the game has changed. We're hearing it from every sector. We're hearing it from the frontline police officers who feel empowered again, empowered to arrest the recidivist thieves and to help the people who are sick and dying on the street. They're enthusiastic. They're jubilant. I've never seen cops, I used to see cops who were happy all the time, and then we had 10 years of despair due to Prop 47, and now I just say they're back. We're also hearing it from our retailers. Now it's early. It's only been 30 days, but I'm still hearing stories. We're all hearing stories that retailers are noticing a change in behavior. The daily stealing is decreasing. They're noticing it. And finally, and most entertaining to me, is we're hearing it from the criminals themselves. They're talking about it. sometimes they're talking about it on dash cam or body cam when they're caught and they realize, oh no, I'm going to jail. This is a felony. But they're talking about it. Word is spreading. So again, it's only been 30 days, but as Sheriff Cooper said, I'm very optimistic that this is the start of a healing process in California, and that together, this group, our entire state, is going to work to bring back some common sense safety and also save lives with people out there who need treatment. So with that, I'd like to introduce San Joaquin County DA Ron Freitas.
Wow. How about a hand for Raley's for putting together this great event in this beautiful store? And District Attorney Tin Ho for bringing all these law enforcement professionals and all of us here together today, please. This has a real personal note to me, and about a year ago, my wife was walking into our grocery store, and as she was walking in, she was passed by two individuals pushing shopping carts, thieves pushing shopping carts out of the store that were filled with steaks, roasts, prime ribs, you name it. And she was outraged, so she asked for the manager of the store and said, excuse me, did you get robbed? And the manager said, yes, unfortunately we did. And she says, well, today's your lucky day. I'm the district attorney's wife, and I am your best witness. I have photographs, I have license plates, I have descriptions, I have it all. Ma'am, are you hurt? She said, no, I'm fine. I have all these things for you. And he said, well, corporate asks that you not get involved. And she says, what do you mean not get involved? Well, corporate knows nothing will happen to these individuals. Well, she said, I'm here to tell you a couple things. First off, it sounds like paying is optional at your store. And second off, my husband is a district attorney. He's been the new district attorney for 2 weeks, and he's going to do something. And we're very excited. In San Joaquin County, we signed the first MOU last year with our Greater Stockton Chamber of Commerce in our 175-year history, so that we would collaborate and work together, creating an app like Jeff created in Yolo County, so that my wife could have reported this crime and this crime could have been prosecuted. Also, now with Prop 36, we're very excited that in San Joaquin County, Yolo County, Sacramento County, in the Central Valley, one, paying is no longer optional, and two, the district attorney's office is open for business, right? And finally, upon enactment of this, we're very proud that in San Joaquin County, we were the first to get a felony conviction on the 666.1 in San Joaquin County. So we're very excited about this. We're excited about these partnerships. We're excited about the message getting out. And I'm very excited to introduce my friend, the great District Attorney of Sacramento County, Tin Ho.
We were able to fix the video, so I'm going to turn it over to Chelsea from Raley's to introduce the video, and then we'll finish it off.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your grace. This is going to, again, show you that level of violence, those large cart push-outs. And this actually happened in this store directly here, many of these clips. So when Tin says this is our highest theft store in the region, it is definitely one of the top. Those are individuals who steal Tide Pods and sell them at laundromats. Thank you.
So I do want to take a moment to recognize my colleague from Yolo County, District Attorney Reisig, because he was at the very beginning in terms of pushing Proposition 36 and helping to write the language. So I do want to take a moment to recognize his efforts on it. And in terms of getting this across the finish line, it is a group effort from everybody in this room and beyond. And that's the theme today in collaboration. So last year, my office started an organized retail theft unit before Proposition 36, and we charge almost 200 different theft cases in that unit, totaling nearly $1 million in goods and property that have been stolen. And since the imposition of Proposition 36, we have continued to prosecute these cases. We will continue to prosecute them. And I'll give you two examples now of retail theft cases. Number one, there was an incident down in Elk Grove. And the Elk Grove Police Department caught two individuals who had stolen from one Walmart, a second Walmart, and then went into Home Depot. Because of Proposition 36, we were able to aggregate, combine them together, and charge them with felonies to hold them accountable. We had another individual in the city jurisdiction that went into J.C. Penney and stole property around $500. And we were able to charge them with a felony because of Proposition 36 and hold them accountable. And in the sheriff's jurisdiction, we have an individual that walked into a famous footwall, grabbed a bunch of shoes and walked out. They were caught, they were captured, and we were able to charge them with a felony under Proposition 36. We will continue to hold people accountable, but we're doing so collaboratively. And so later this morning, we are going to convene in my office after this press conference. We have the DAs from 4 different surrounding counties. We have law enforcement from across the region. We have the Board of Supervisor there, and we have members of behavioral health coming to talk about how we are going to develop the best practices regionally, how to implement Proposition 36. So the theme today is we pass this legislation, as Mayor Bobby Singh Allen said, by 70%. 70% of the voters spoke. But the next step is how do we implement it in a fair, even-handed, but also that speaks of accountability. And that's what we're going to be doing together, coming up with policies and best practices. And that's why we're here today, and we would invite you to come to the beginning of that roundtable at the DA's office as we discuss how best to implement Proposition 36, because people have had enough. Today is a dawning of a new day. Today is a day where all the communities and all the groups come together to lift Californians up from the darkness of retail theft and crime. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our current mayor of Sacramento, Kevin McCarty, who just arrived.
Well, I'm sure you hit the issue already, and I just want to make the point that the City of Sacramento is in full support of implementing Prop 36. I'm very familiar with this topic, having worked with our DAs Reisig and Ho as the chair of the Public Safety Committee last year, working to bring about more accountability to repeat offenders of retail theft and drug use, and bringing about treatment and services, not just locking people up, but creating a better tomorrow for people who are going through our criminal justice system. But make no mistake, the voters spoke loud and clear, 70%, and the City of Sacramento is going to fully cooperate and help implement this law. In fact, in 2 weeks at the City Council, we're having a agendized session on this with our police chief, with our DA, with the community to talk about what this measure looks like, how it's going to be rolled out, implemented within the City of Sacramento. So thank you to the partners in making sure that not only did this measure pass, but we're focusing on how it can improve our communities up and down California, starting right here in the capital city of California. Thank you.
So with that, I would like to open it up for questions for the entire group of leaders that we have up here. So questions? Yes. So in Sacramento County, in terms of the retail cases, we've charged 47 individuals regards to under 666.1. We are aggressively prosecuting individuals for retail theft. We'll continue to do so. We have an organized retail theft prosecutor, and we also have many other attorneys that are engaged in that process. What we did in Sacramento was we created on our website a landing page where retailers could order free stickers that they could put up in their businesses. On that website, retailers and victims of retail theft could also click a link and report the crime directly to law enforcement. We also have a video on there for law enforcement in regards to the intricacies, not only of Proposition 36, but the package of retail theft legislation that passed recently. So these are the tools that we have in terms of implementation. But I'm going to turn that over to Jeff Reisig and my colleague from San Joaquin County to talk about in terms of implementation of theft in their county.
So in Yolo, we've had approximately a dozen arrests, felony arrests for the drug, the mandated treatment, which to us is very significant. And I'm just going to tell you my philosophy on this is every day that a person remains on the street seriously addicted, especially with the fentanyl out there, is just another day that they could die. And so we're being actually pretty aggressive with the mandated treatment felonies. On the theft side, it's about 10 cases, all 666.1, which is the new petty theft with priors. And I'll just comment, what we're finding in many of these petty theft cases is it's not just the 2 priors that these people have, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are recidivist thieves, and thank God for Prop 36, because under the old laws, they would have gotten a ticket and walked away laughing. So it is good news. Good start.
We've had a dozen cases so far in San Joaquin County, and what we're prioritizing is we're not charging the mom who's stealing a loaf of bread for her children because they're hungry. We're prioritizing the serial shoplifter that's stolen time and time again. When you were stealing the $900 for 30 days, well, that was pretty significant. It was $27,000 that was being stolen. So these individuals who are preying upon our communities, we also saw that individuals were making a loop, that they were leaving Alameda County, driving to San Joaquin, hitting Sacramento, hitting Yolo, and then hitting Solano County on the way back, and taking their $900 from each and every single one of them. So these individuals who were making it their job to steal from our businesses, they're the ones that we're going after for Prop 36.
So in Sacramento County, we make the distinction as well between someone who's stealing a loaf of bread or diapers for their kids. But there's a difference between somebody stealing 1 steak versus 20 filet mignons. If they're not stealing for personal sustenance, but they're stealing as repeat offenders, we hold them accountable. And I do want to give Sheriff Cooper and Chief Lester an opportunity to talk about the enforcement that they're engaging in their jurisdiction as it relates to retail theft.
Yeah, this has been a long-standing problem, and you can just imagine, our officers that are out on our streets every single day, they get the call to Raley's, and they have the prolific shoplifter. And after doing an incredible investigation, they're able to put a crime together to be able to package that up and send it to the DA for prosecution. And what happens? That person gets a ticket, they walk out, and they go and they do it again. And we've seen that time and time again. It's incredibly demoralizing for the men and women that are trying to keep our community safe. And so, number one, that's going to be a significant change for us. Secondly, I think that the most important thing really that we need to focus on, this is a community safety issue. And when we talk about community safety, you've heard me say this a number of times. It's not just law enforcement, not just the city, it's not just the DA. We have to work on this together. And so we have good relationships here in Sacramento. Sacramento is not so big that everyone doesn't know each other. And that's a huge asset for us. And we are definitely going to leverage that. So immediately when this law came into effect, our officers started receiving updated training. There are some very practical aspects of this law. For example, being able to use video to effect an arrest, that we've been able to aggregate crimes and add the amounts that have been stolen so that we can actually charge with felonies, which means people are not going to walk out of a store with a ticket. They're going to go to jail and they're going to face the consequences of that. And what we hope to do is through increased enforcement and being able to take on these crimes in a different way, that our community is going to be much safer as we move forward. So we've seen drastic reductions in violent crime crime and shootings in our city, and we are going to use those same tactics to address the crimes that we are seeing within our retail establishments. Thank you.
There are some days we'll put 50 officers out just to deal with retail theft, and it is having an impact. It is making a difference. I can't thank the community enough that passed this. And our chamber, the Metro Chamber, is amazing to have them involved and to rally business around with this and get this done. It's really, like I said, as Chief Lester said, it's everybody. We're all in it together. One entity cannot do it. So, like I said earlier, I'm excited. I'm optimistic. The bad guys and girls are hearing about this. It is making a difference. Making a difference. Like I said, Rayleigh's and Chelsea, thank you guys so much, because your story makes an impact. Showing videos makes an impact, because for far too long, people want to be politically correct and not say what it is. These people are stealing because there's no accountability. They're going to get in trouble. That's the big issue. And think about it. It took 10 years to rectify it. And don't forget, in 2020, there was Prop 20, another initiative to deal with retail theft. It got shot down. So, like I said, all the praise goes to the citizens of California. Even San Francisco, 70%. San Francisco is very progressive. LA, 70%. What does that say? Enough is enough. People were fed up.
Before I turn it over to the next question, I do want to bring up the West Sacramento Police Chief to talk about what they're doing in Yolo County on it.
Thank you. My name's Rob Strange. I'm police chief in West Sacramento. It is a new day, as it's been stated by other speakers. The reality is what we're able to do on the streets as officers trying to protect our community, partner with our community, has changed overnight. And so we are able to, and I see it every day in our watch logs since the passage and implementation, that every day I am seeing arrests for repeat retail theft. We are actually making an impact already, and the word is spreading. So we are hearing it from those in the back seats of our cars who are expecting to be cited out and released, that they're finding out and surprised that they're going to jail, that the gig is up and about time. Because our communities have been saying this for a decade now, that they feel powerless, that our retailers, grocers, they all feel powerless, that they cannot do anything, that they cannot put their hands on somebody, that they cannot stop the loss. And who pays the price? All of us do. All of us do. The increased costs, the inconvenience of having to push a button and wait for somebody to come help you get product. All of these things are part of what looks like a push for all of us across the state just to be desensitized to everything we see that we know is flat wrong. Accountability has arrived again. Thank goodness. And with that, we are empowered once again to make substantial change in our approach, and we're doing that. We're investing in those areas that we know are highly impacted. We have a core of our city that has long had a history of problems, and we are ready to now change that with this new set of tools to really empower us to make change with our community in the way that they have wanted for so long. Thank you.
Other questions? Any other questions? Okay, yes. So the question involved drug court. So prior to Proposition 47, we had a robust drug court program throughout the state in Sacramento. After Prop 47 was introduced, successful participation in drug court dropped by nearly 70% in Sacramento. Now, there's a host of other different collaborative courts and rehabilitation program, but unfortunately, a lot of them lack the teeth and the encouragement of the penalties behind it. And so right now we are working with behavioral health in Sacramento County. We're working with the Board of Supervisors. We're working with the courts and the public defenders to rebuild drug court, to make sure that we get treatment. I know that when we were working on passing Proposition 36, you know, Mayor Bobby Singh and Alan and I were talking many times. Proposition 36 is not about mass incarceration, it's about mass treatment. It's not about nonsense when it comes to public safety, about common sense in moving forward and getting people the treatment they need to get them off the streets. And so I was the first and only district attorney in the country to sue its own city to deal with its unhoused population, and we've seen an improvement greatly over the last year over that, but we need to do much more than that. And I do want to allow Mayor McCarty to discuss some of the programs that he tried to implement in regards to treatment both in Yolo County and Sacramento County.
Sure. Well, whether it's Prop 36 or drug courts, the bottom line is the tool is going to come back to incentivize individuals who get arrested for possession of hard drugs in the community to get treatment or face a choice of incarceration. So it's our hope, and DA Reisig and TN hopes, while we work on this legislation that West Sac supported the West Sac Chamber a few years ago, to bring about the concept of drug courts back to Sacramento. It may not be called drug courts, but I think the big picture is there's a new day in Californian cities that we've seen the pendulum swing back towards the middle, because our laws, people were getting caught up in the middle and having no accountability. So I'm very optimistic that in our communities, the people that call us and Mayor Singh Allen, our council members, focusing on problem individuals and problem communities, there's going to be a tool to allow us to get people off the streets into treatment.
So with that, I want to thank everybody for being here. And really the theme is collaboration. And you look at the leaders that are here, the business people that are here, it's about collaborating to really now implement Proposition 36 that has a meaningful effect in the community. So at 12:30, I would encourage you to stop by for the media at the DA's office. We're going to have a roundtable where it's really getting down into the nuts and bolts and talking about how we're going to implement it with behavioral health, with the county, with businesses, with law enforcement from across the entire region. But I can't thank Raley's enough for hosting this event and showing the video to bringing this to light. I cannot thank the Sac Metro Chamber enough for really bringing us all together. It was frankly the Sac Metro Chamber in terms of their vision of bringing this together, and the credit goes to them and to all the people up here. But please stop by 906 G Street at the Sacramento DA's office at 12:30, and thank you so much.